Caritas, Cremvase Azantes. Welcome, video lovers. Welcome to Tac Nerd 1.0. Adventures, we have for you today a little review, a little nug review.
What's a nug, sir? Oh, a nug is a gun, sir.
But this is a little departure, and it's kind of setting up something we're going to be doing in the future. Every time we do a review, we're going to review these specific things. I'm trying to reach more into my nerddom, my nerd culture. And so we're going to get to that in a minute. Let me introduce you to the VSKA Trooper. Now, I know there's probably a horde of you out there laughing at me.
They're all going to laugh at you.
Laughing at the Trooper, at the VSKA. Because for some reason, these have a terrible reputation, which I can tell you is completely unfounded. Like many new firearms that come out on the market, sometimes they have issues and then they are corrected. Sometimes they're corrected, right, Sig? But, generally these things are corrected and then, they move on. This firearm has been tested and retested. I think there's no less than 3 5,000 round tests of this firearm with no issues. But these things kind of get into the ether and they're impossible to get rid of, no matter how many times you can show someone right up there that, the firearm functions fine, but they heard it somewhere. So, yeah. Anyways, but I've had this for a few years and it's always treated me fine. I've never had any issue with it. But I wanted to go over some of the features of the VSKA AK-47 style rifle. Of course, this is not a real AK because it's not have select fire. It's just semi-automatic. And plus, this is made in Vermont. Now, this is the Trooper model. It normally comes with just a very basic plastic handguard. And then it comes with kind of it's a nice stock. It's by Circle 10. It's kind of a wire-framed looking stock. It's really nice looking. However, it's not foldable. And they really should have taken that extra step and made it so it's foldable. Without that, it's just not a whole lot of use. So I ended up getting Magpul furniture for this, and that's worked quite well for me. The only other gripe I really have about this rifle is that it also does not come with the side mount hardware, which is pretty rough for an AK because, as you know, it's pretty hard to scope these or put any sort of optic on them without having that side mount on there. And I am of the firm belief that any sort of AK made anywhere should have that because, as I said, it's pretty hard to put optics on them anyways. You can put them on the front gas system here, but that gets a little hot, and I've heard back and forth about people cooking off optics. Basically, though, this is it now. And by the way, YouTube reviewer, this is a 20 round magazine. This is well within YouTube's specifications. This is pretty much just your average, ordinary AK pattern rifle. It does have kind of a slim barrel, again, because it's the Trooper variant. I suppose it's supposed to be lighter in some way. That's kind of the way they bring it. To give you a few details about the rifle, the VSKA Trooper is a variant of Century Arms VSKA, it stands for Vermont Stamped Kalashnikov Series, which is an American-made AK-style rifle. It's designed for rugged use, features a forged trunnion, bolt, and carrier, along with U.S.-made chrome moly, 4150 barrel, durable wood furniture, or polymer options, chambered in, of course, 7.62x39, the standard AK caliber. So some of the advantages of this rifle: it does feature the forged parts, gives it some improved durability and reliability over previous Century Arms AK models in the past that have had cast parts. Price point: the VSKA Trooper is competitively priced, that's probably true. In this market today, it is a competitively priced AK variant. If you watch the sales long enough, you generally can find these. Every once in a while, they'll go on sale. It is US made compliant, which is nice. You don't have to worry about any sort of compliance or parts, or having to have so many US parts and so many foreign parts. These are all US parts. Accuracy of the barrel, again, it is 4150 chromoly, offers solid accuracy and long-term durability. You also might know that this rifle is, I don't know if it's the Trooper, one of the VSKA rifles, it is the official rifle of Thunder Ranch, and they use this as part of their school and part of their class. And like I said, they've been doing this again for years and really have not had any problem with them. So, you know, if it's good enough for them, it should be good enough for you. Some of the disadvantages, though, we will go over those. It does, as I said, it has a reputation issue. Earlier Century Arms AKs had reliability and quality concerns, leaving some buyers skeptical of the VSKA. The weight, it is slightly heavier than some imported AKs, mostly due to its robust parts. Mixed longevity reviews. While some improvements are evident, some users have reported concerns about long-term durability under extreme use. Now, interesting how that is phrased. They say it's some users report concerns, not that they have a report of any actual fact, just that they're reporting concerns. Well, everyone has concerns, so that doesn't really mean anything. Limited customization compared to other AK platforms. It may lack some of the modularity or options offered by some of the more high-end variants, which that is true, as I said, because it does not include the side rail. I think in some later models, the VSKAs have started including those, and I hope that is the case. So anyways, that is the VSKA Trooper. And again, I have been using this for quite some time. I've not had any issues with it, other than getting it on target, which is primarily because I suck with AK iron sights. I have still not, for the life of me, figured this system out. I will do it one day. I just have to get some time at the range to sit there and do it. So anyways, part of our new review system here, and again, because this is Tac Nerd, is we have to cover that nerddom part. Basically, we're going to cover on each one of these firearms. Can this kill or can this defeat? I suppose if I put can this kill, then YouTube's going to be all they're going to have issues with that, and I'll have issues with monetization. So will it kill or will it defeat? Three things. Okay. First, zombies. All right. Second, robots. Third, aliens. So robots, zombies, aliens. Those are your big three. Those are your big three that I feel kind of go across the genre. Now, I did consider putting some more fantasy-esque type monsters or something in there, something such as dragons. I got to feel dragons, though, that's going to be a tough case, because they are so huge. You're almost looking, when they get that big, you're almost looking at our artillery to kill a dragon. So I just thought there was a lot of play there. And so I'm hoping that the zombie thing kind of covers the fantasy part of it. Zombies cover fantasy. They often also cover the zombie craze part. Also kind of cover horror. Aliens are kind of, that's kind of your typical thing. That kind of covers a lot. But we should say what kind of aliens that we're going to cover. I think we're going to basically stick with your standard gray type aliens. We're not going to go for aliens with the, with the acid blood and all that. We're just going to go with your standard gray aliens. I think that would probably be easiest. Maybe we'll, slide into reptoids, a little, maybe. I think most people, when they think of aliens, they think of the grays, though, right? So zombies are going to be just your kind of typical zombie. And this can be the slow zombies or the fast zombies, either or. Now, if they're fast, obviously you're going to want a faster rifle or something, but I think we can include both of those types in together. And I also think you can kind of include with zombies, you can kind of include in ghouls from something like Fallout. I think they're pretty similar. So we can kind of include them in with that. Lastly is robots. So, and I think we can include androids in with that. I know I know the nerds you're having issues, but just stay with me on this.
I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
I know there's a big difference between robots and androids, but for our purposes, we don't want to, these videos can't be that long. So we just got to go with what we got. If we are talking about androids of some type, they're going to be more like probably like the Blade Runner androids, the replicants, which really, I don't even know if you want to call them androids because they're really just manufactured humans. I guess I would kind of say maybe the androids from Fallout, maybe we could call them as well. But I think robots really is what we're looking at here. And that's basically going to be your iRobot type robot, which is the kind of thing we're looking at in our very near future here. So you're looking at robots made of basically polymer and steel and probably bipedal, looking something like us, or maybe those dog robots, that you see everywhere. For robots, just to be clear, we're not talking about the Terminator type robots, because that's kind of like dragons. At that point, so you're getting to where you need very specialized equipment, and nearly none of the things we're talking about here are probably going to work for that. So, we're just talking about the horde type monsters that you're going to come across. So anyways, I'm sorry for that huge discussion, but I just wanted to get that clear, and I hope we won't have to reiterate this every time. But let's take our first option, zombies. Would this weapon defeat zombies?
I'll get 3.
Yes, I think pretty easily. I think there are tons of literature and movies out there showing AKs being used on zombies. I think zombies generally are thought of, and ghouls are thought of, as kind of soft-skinned creatures. So, a good whack to the head probably gonna turn them into mush. A well-powered 7.62 by 39 is probably going to take care of them. Now with zombies, you always look at the double tap, but you also look at getting them in the head. I don't know, they always say in most zombie movies, they say that's what you need to do to incapacitate them and to stop them from moving, because otherwise, even if they don't have legs or arms, they're still going to keep coming toward you. I think that's probably the case, but again, I don't think that's going to be hard with this. With this VSKA, you should be able to get them in the head if you need be, or you should be able to fire off enough rounds to get the mythical zombie. You should be able to take enough of them away so that they would not be able to keep coming toward you. Okay, moving on. Next, robots. Again, I think you're going to be okay here. I think the robot made of polymer and steel, probably going to be okay. Now, we can have armored robots, and that is something that they're even experimenting with now. So, could they put Kevlar on robots? Possibly, yes. I think you're generally going to find that not being the case, though. And even if it is, I doubt that you're going to be able to fully encase a robot in Kevlar. And I would say you certainly can't be putting plates on robots. Maybe you could, but that's really going to way slow them down. You've seen these robots from different videos. If you put really heavy plates on them, that's going to destroy their movement. They're going to have to be, and they're also going to have to be reprogrammed to be able to move with that much weight. It's going to drain their batteries. So I think you're going to be fine with robots. And even if they are armored, you're going to be able to get them in the right spot so you can at least disable them. So there's that. Okay, lastly, aliens. Now, with aliens, we always worry about the gray aliens are supposed to have some sort of mental powers or something like that. Of course, that's kind of one of those kickers that makes almost any weapon useless against them. But, we're going to kind of have to move past that as far as aliens being any sort of, any sort of actual threat, even if it's not the gray aliens, if it's some sort of, if it's some sort of a reptilian or some sort of fast moving type alien, horde type alien, you're still going to be okay. There's still going to be pretty much flesh and blood of some type. Now, they may have a carapace of some sort that may make it harder to hit them. If they do have some sort of shell or protective coating, that may make it hard. But I will tell you, I think with the AK in particular, you're going to have an easier time getting through that carapace because again, it is a heavy round. It's moving at a good clip. And I think you're going to be okay. If it were a handgun or something like that, that might be a bit sketchy. But I think with any sort of rifle, I think you're going to be fine. So anyway, so I think again, this gets the gold seal. You get zombies, aliens, and robots. You are in the clear. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gave you some sort of entertainment. If it did, please, down on your way out, please consider sharing, and subscribing. Always fire off around at that bell notification. Make sure you know when all of our videos come out. And if you would, again, if you have been so entertained,
Are you not entertained?
please consider a super thanks, and as well joining our membership. We're going to be doing much more of this nerd alien mishmash stuff. We're going to put up some shirts, some will it defeat or will it kill shirts, something like that. If you guys have any suggestions, please send them over. I'd love to hear them. Folks, that is it. That's all I have for you today. This is Tack Nerd, and I am out of here.